All right, everyone. Welcome to this daily/weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. So this is for October 30th through the 5th of 2017. And yeah, it is going to be also serving as the daily as well because I will be traveling to Austin here this week. For those of you who've been following my blog, for those walks, know that I have been thinking about Austin and things did end up lining up with that. So I will be moving there this week. I will be talking about things a bit more in detail in this weekly so that you can see specifically what's going on each of these days this week. If you want to just go ahead and jump to your signs video for the week, there are links down in the comment section. I do recommend watching those sign videos for your sun, moon, and ascendant sign. If you don't know your moon or ascendant, be sure to check out the birth chart calculator down there. Which will show you your moon sign and your ascendant sign. And this video is for sidereal, so if you are new to the channel, definitely check out the link as well that describes what sidereal is, because we are using the actual size of the constellations, and this is different signs than mainstream astrology. All right, so without further ado, let's look at this week. There is quite a bit to talk about. We have a full moon taking place at the end of the week on Friday and Saturday. It is going to be in fiery Aries. And we do have, and that's good for active energy. It's good for moving things forward, building some confidence through taking action. So as we approach the weekend, there is this gaining of energy, this more illumination and awareness generally. But I think as a backdrop to the week, I think it's a very healing week. We have Saturn squaring up to Chiron for the last time. This has been going on since December of last year. And so a final integration with facing some wounds perhaps in terms of building structures and any wounds we might have in terms of our ability to be responsible and build things in our life, that if we face those wounds, we take those actions in the face of those wounds, it is a very, very good way of working with the week, and it can be very healing, in fact, as well. All right, so there are also some other aspects as well. So let's go and look at all of this here in more detail. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of these aspects we've got this week. It's a pretty typical week, pretty busy week, I think, astrologically speaking, in terms of events and shifts and things like that. A lot of it is happening at the end of the week around the full moon, which will be Friday and Saturday time, the 3rd and the 4th here. But let's go ahead and break this down. So coming into the week, we do have the moon in Aquarius on Monday. So I think on Monday it is a great day for individuality, tapping into your true self. Really good for eccentricity, even seeing what you can do that might give and contribute to something larger than yourself. Sometimes with Aquarius, it's good to get involved with our friends or our tribe, groups, or technology, innovation, really getting into that progressive side of ourselves, which really does invoke that individualism in terms of being a part of something larger than ourselves. So a great day for that. And these 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, could be really good for learning in general. Anything you can do to actually challenge yourself about learning more about yourself, more about your life path. This isn't a major aspect, but with Mercury squaring the North Node, this is very much about challenging ourselves to learn. And so, seeing if there is anything you can do to sort of initiate things, take some actions, and through that learn, or to initiate learning, right? Practical knowledge is really good. And if there is any clash with your life path, with where things are going, where you think it's heading, again, I think just tapping into a bit of curiosity or challenging yourself to access some curiosity and willingness to learn can really help integrate this energy these 2 days here. Then as we get into most of Tuesday, the moon will then be shifting into Pisces, which is the constellation right before Aries. So essentially, all the way up until the full moon, the moon will be in Pisces. And so for the middle part of the week, it is very good for, I think, receptivity. Okay, so it is the higher energy of the lunar cycle. So there is momentum, like I was saying, being built throughout the week. But listening to that intuition, being receptive, seeing where the current of life where that current of the stream is going and putting energy into that. Typically, this could be getting some alone time and some rest, but typically during the gibbous phase, this more illuminating phase of the moon, it is good to implement, right? So living the Pisces energy, embodying it in our everyday sphere, acceptance, receptivity, compassion, understanding, even creative imagination, right? Allowing things to be a bit more etheric and intuitive and, you know, receptive in that sense. Really good for that. And there could be some things, some themes in your life pertaining to the development of this more receptive nature. All right, so all week long we are, excuse me, all week long we are going to be feeling this Saturn squaring up to Chiron energy. This will be in an apex here on Thursday, but like I said, this is actually an energy we've been feeling since December of last year. So all year, off and on, and the activation points were December and then late April of this year as well, if there was anything that shifted at that time in regards to this. But healing is the name of the game with this. And it's healing in sort of two ways. One is the side of ourself that wants to build structures, right? Wants to be responsible, build things in our life, but has wounds about it. So on that side of it, I think it's very good to see if any wounds do come up about this. And with Saturn already transiting through Ophiuchus, we'll be finishing Ophiuchus in November, actually. You know, it's already been this sort of healing to needing to accept some things about our structures in life, what we're building, and any wounds that come up as a result of that. So if anything like that arises, really good to take the wounds head on, the squares and Chiron for that matter. Really good to face those wounds, to take action in the face of them. And through that, the healing really occurs. And I think because it's the last aspect, since December, right, it's the final one since December, this healing is taking place. It's all becoming integrated now this week. So go slow, go at your own pace. Again, I think with Chiron and Pisces too, there are maybe some wounds about our ability to let go and surrender what's outside of our control, and even to connect to God or the universe and the divine process. Any wounds about that arise, again, really good to be aware of that. Face those wounds, take action in the face of them, and through that, getting on the right side of this naturally healing process which is taking place this week. So the other side of it is that, you know, Saturn does also involve the work, right? So anything you can do to do the work of healing generally is the other way of looking at this aspect. So whatever that means for you personally, but of course everything in life does take work and does take, again, maybe diving deep with that Ophiuchus energy. So anything you can do to do the work to dive deep is great during this week. All right, so this is going to be the apex on Wednesday, like I said, so there will, or Thursday rather. So there will be this shift midweek in terms of this integration of healing as we go into next week here. All right, so yeah, this is the part of the week where a lot is going on astrologically. It's all aligning with the full moon, which will be Friday, Saturday. So I do want to mention that on Thursday, there is some good energy to learn about healing. Mercury trining Chiron. So even though there's that square, there is support with Mercury. And the support is, again, that open-mindedness, willingness to learn can really support whatever this healing is for you personally. Then as we get into Friday, Venus then starts to sextile Saturn and opposes up to Uranus in that configuration going into the weekend. So there could be Friday, Saturday, maybe some unexpected things involving relationships or unexpected feelings involving relationships. So it is good to stay nice and balanced with any opposition up to Uranus, because typically we're wanting to break free in some sense. Okay, we wanted to break free, make some changes maybe. This is again involving relationships. Could also be involving your material life or your comforts in life or your finances, but generally relationships when we're looking at this collectively. So yeah, wanting change, right? Wanting change. So listen to that. There is something here that Uranus is helping us develop to bring in more freedom and change in our life, but with balance and moderation, right? and be grateful for our relationships as well. And if it is where you are feeling the change and it isn't, you know, being implemented, then I think it is good to implement some of that change, right? See where you can mix some things up, be open-minded, tap into a bit of that excitement and unexpectedness. Embracing that really can help you align to this aspect. And what's nice about it is that Saturn is really stabilizing the whole thing. So I think particularly on Friday, there is this stability about the thing. So it's stable, yet it's about change, right? But Saturn's grounding that Uranus, which is good this year with their trine, which will be going exact next week, I believe. All right, so anyways, that's the relationship side of things about Friday, Saturday. But there is this very receptive side of these 2 days. The sun will be trining up to Neptune. And so, yes, I think we are accepting these 2 days. I think we are receptive. Really good couple days for spiritual activities, meditation, going with the flow, easygoingness, and creativity. You know, the sun is creative. Neptune's also creative. Could be a good couple days for that. All right, so the full moon will be, for most of us, in the evening time on Friday. For those not in the Americas, it will be on Saturday. But yeah, this is a full moon now. So by this point of the week, it is this now illumination about, first of all, the previous month, so the previous 2 weeks when the month started, the new moon month. So an examination of the past couple of weeks, right? How are things going in terms of what new has been developing, doing the status check, and really integrating these Aries qualities, because what's taking place here is now this illumination of how it does require, life does require us initiating things, taking action, right? And through that initiating of action, building confidence, building courage, right? And that fire for life as well, and that directness and that assertiveness and all of that grit that Aries helps us develop, but we develop through taking action, right? So this is what's coming to the forefront, coming to our awareness. Things pertaining to this, we'll see which house this is for your individual signs here in just a couple minutes. But collectively, how can you integrate this energy of moving things forward, active, initiating, and through the process learning more about ourselves, through the process learning more about what we want, right? And again, building of that confidence and courage as well. So all in all, it looks like a good aspected full moon. It is going to be opposite Jupiter, which is about those opportunities that are still unfolding throughout this time, as I've been talking about. It's trining Pluto, so there's an empowerment to this full moon. And it is sextiling up to Neptune as well. Again, with that sun trining Neptune, that easygoingness, that receptivity is really tying the whole thing together. All right, so that's really the energy of the weekend. Full moon in Aries, high point of the cycle, doing a status check in your life right now, even doing a status check of the past 6 months. And again, how you can integrate this direct active energy of Aries. All right, so let's go and look at all of this here for the individual signs. You can go down to the comment section and you'll find the link to the individual video for your sun, moon, and ascendant sign. All right, so I'll see you there.